Oh.
でも負けないで。寂しくて泣いてしまうこともあるかもしれない。
Oh, fuck. If we do not understand the complexities of emotions, love, and the human condition, we cannot do white lie. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist. This episode 10 beautifully highlights the complexities of love, loss, and the human desire to leave a lasting impact on those we cherish deeply. Many viewers have cautioned me against this episode, so I'm fully prepared with a tissue box. And this episode is sponsored by Assassination Zero, our new sponsor tier. Shout out to you, Assassins Nation, and shout out to the best patron family there is. Let's tune in.
今日は何して遊ぶ？
Oh, nice outfit. Oh, whoa, that's a creepy
おま
doll.
まごとは飽きちゃったしね。ねえ。まだお母さんのお客さん帰らない。
She looks like younger Iris.
早く帰っちゃえばいいのに。ねえ。
Hmm? Nice suburban house. They really do travel everywhere their services are needed. Auto memory dolls.
すごく大きなお人形が。
Really big doll. Oh gosh. What is this foreshadowing?
お母
あん、部屋に入るときはノックしてって言ってるでしょ。それとご挨拶。
Japanese are so properly mannered. Wow.
失礼します、お母様。
まあ、よろしい。それで何？
Oh gosh. Is this mom terminally ill? She's definitely not feeling well. Violet Evergarden.
そういえば今日だったわね。今にお年して。
かしこまり。住むにはだから私たちが。
今日のところはお引き取りください。
Oh no. The mom looks like she is coordinating her death and post-funeral arrangements. Oh, is the mom dying? Oh boy.
喋った。
バイオレット・エヴァーガーデンです。
Oh, so pretty.
今お茶が入りますから。
Parasol from Oscar Webster's website episode.
飲んだ紅茶どうなるの？
あん、
いずれ体内から排出
How old is the little girl,
大地に
Anne?
帰りますが。
How old is she? Seven days. Wow, that's a long service.
かしこまりました。作業はどちらでなさいますか？
それじゃあ明るいサンルームの方でお願いしようかしら。
Oh, so cute.
それにバイオレットさんはお手紙を書くのがとても。
Oh, Violet, your legacy. You're famous.
書くの？
そうね。とっても遠くにいる人よ。
遠く？
そう。大事なお手紙なの。
Someone very
サ
far
ンルーム
away.
に入ってきてはダメよ。それじゃバイオレットさん。
かしこまりました。
So before we start, I'm pretty sure this episode will talk about grief, probably anticipatory grief, definition right here. It's anticipating the mourning before someone passes away. And it's pretty obvious that the mother here is setting arrangements. And unfortunately, it looks like she's terminally ill, or she is dying in a pretty impending way, grieving in anticipation of someone's passing. In this case, I presume and I predict that it's a foreshadowing of the mother's impending death. But I want to highlight another thing here: the daughter and attachment theory. I talked a lot about attachment theory throughout the last few episodes, and even in Free Run, actually. So, what do we see the little girl Anne? She is sulking a little bit. She was pouting with her cheeks. She's like, oh, why are you spending time with this guest, this big doll that knows how to talk and drink tea? But here's the undertone. She was sulking earlier and pouting because she wants to monopolize the time with her mom, which to me suggests very secure attachment style. Definition right here. We talked about there's 4 different attachment styles, and secure means you're in a very secure, safe state with your mother or caregiver. You feel safe and secure because your caregiver, in this case mother, showed up for you in times of needs. So that's how we can tell that Anne doesn't suffer from an anxious attachment style or avoidant attachment style, or even the most difficult and traumatic one, disorganized attachment style, because she's not afraid of speaking her minds in front of her mother. She even interrupts her, which is rude in very disrespectful Japanese culture, but she wants all the time with her mom by herself for herself, which represents secure attachment style. And I wonder who the letters are actually for by the mother, because I'm sure that letter writing and hiring Violet for 7 days, which is a long time to write a single letter. So I presume that she's going to write numerous letters throughout this service hiring period of 7 days. So I wonder who the letters are for, because I'm sure that's also part of her post-death arrangement. So I guess we shall see.
かしこまりました。
やっぱり良くないものだったわ。
The little kid knows?
すごい、やっぱりお人形だわ。
So cute. Oh no, she's really sick. Definitely terminal illness.
お母さん、大丈夫？
大丈夫よ。すぐ良くなるから。
本当に？
Will you though? Oh, that's a white lie.
本当に。
Oh, the maid is heartbroken in the background.
じゃあ一緒に寝てもいい？
まあ、もうお昼寝は卒業。
お客様は嫌い。私からお母さんを奪うんだ。
What did I say? Monopolize her attention with mom. Secure attachment style.
ごめんね、アン。
Oh, Anne is a good girl. Good daughter.
ちょっと眠いだけですって。
So honest.
だから。
何をするのですか？私の担当外の作業です。
Outside of my expertise.
お人形がお人形と遊ぶなんて。
Ah, innocence of youth.
まず挨拶してみなさいよ。こんにちは。
Konnichiwa.
こんにちは。
お
お部屋の用意ができましたのでご案内いたします。
はい。
A quick pause. One thing I learned from Violet Evergarden of 10 episodes to date, if I laugh or having wholesome moments in the beginning of the episode, I know that's a foreshadowing of heart crushing, onion slicing ninja moment down the road. So I'm just cherishing my laughters and joy and wholesomeness before it absolutely crushes my heart. So that's one point. Secondly, we see another attachment theory and attaching and longing moments between Anne and Violet. Anne went from resisting visitors because of her secure attachment with her mother, because she wanted to monopolize this all of the time that she has with her mom. Two, she immediately wanting to have a connection, relate, and longing for relationships, connections. We can tell that Anne is pretty quite young. I'm not sure how old. Anne is longing for a secure and constant relationship and fun time with someone. And I'm not sure if Anne notices, but even when she's like, I knew she was bad news. So, and even in the very beginning of the episode, she saw a doll coming with the parasol walking. So she's like, oh, for some reason, I feel like she's bad news. So I think the anticipatory grief, I think has two layers here. Layer one is her mother doing that because she's anticipating her own passing and confronting her own mortality. And second, as children, as innocent as they are, precisely because they're innocent, sometimes their intuition, their gut feeling is more pure and heightened because they're less boggled down by distractions, different thought process, different, I guess, imprints of the world. So the more innocent someone is, in this case, Anne, a child, the more heightened and attuned their intuition is. So I feel like the second layer of anticipatory grief in this episode so far is Anne somehow unknowingly and maybe even subconsciously anticipating grief. I don't know if she knows the magnitude and the depth of the mother's terminal illness because even there was a little white lie moment. And many of you guys know how I feel about the white lie between Hudgens and Violet in the very first episode. So even here I struggle with this where should the mother tell Anne about her impending death, her terminal illness? But the child is literally a child here, is not cognitively or emotionally equipped for such a tragic news. So I think I give the mother here more of a pass for the white lie versus what Hudgens did. But I think that the daughter, Anne, deep inside knows that something bad is going to happen to the mother. Because I think seeing this big doll who apparently talks and drinks, aka Violet, seeing her visiting her mother, and seeing other guests who was there to meet with mother by her bedside, arranging her post-funeral, post-death arrangements, which of course Anne doesn't know. But I think all these guests visiting her, the frequency of that, the seriousness in the mother's tone, and the prolonged nature of the mother being away from Anne's for all these arrangement meetings is signaling something bad. Something tragic is about to happen to Anne and her youth but very potent intuition.
2階のお部屋になります。
Oh, what a little kid. Innocence of childhood. Ah, that's how Violet should have grown up. Man. R.I.P.
いけません。これは私のお仕事ですから。取らないでくださいまし。
Responsibilities of adults.
人生ってどうしてこうなのかしら。
She's pouting again. So cute. The first letter? Okay. Oh, she's tearing up. Anticipatory grief. Violet is tuning up her gears, her silver arm. We've actually never seen it, her tuning up her arm.
手を調整していたのです。
調整？
はい、ちゃんと動くように。
Hi. Confidentiality,
守秘義務があるのです。
professional boundaries.
難しい言葉ばかり使わないで。
Oh, poor Anne.
ねえ、誰にお手紙書いてるの？
Good redirection. She's the only.
もうお休みになられては。
どうして？
Kadia.
他にもエリカさんとアイリスさんというドールが。
すごい、そんなに動く人がいるの？夜更かしするといけないようが出るんだからね。
Wow, that's a scary why lie
お
she's
やす
been
みなさ
told.
いませ。
Quick pause. Something profound yet subtle just happens between the dialogue of Violet and Anne. Did anyone catch that? Anne was asking, "Oh my gosh, there's other living dolls?" Did Violet try to correct her? Because remember, Violet's struggle with emotionality and emotional expressions and understand the complexities of love and emotions. At the same time, she has been the embodiment of truth speaking. She never lies. She always abides by the truth. But in this scenario, what did Violet do? She did a white lie, implicitly so. She didn't conjure up the white lie, but when Anne was saying that, oh my gosh, there's other living dolls, she didn't correct her. She didn't destroy the young innocent Anna's fantasy of there are other living dolls out there, not just you. She actually was complicit and she actually allowed Anne to, I guess, have fun and exist in her fantasy world of the youth and innocence by saying that, yes, with a little smile. And when Violet said that, we saw Anne kind of blushing and I guess appreciating that because she's like, oh my gosh, what a wonderful fantasy. What a wonderful, wonderful world where there are other living dolls besides you. And here's what I'm trying to say. If we do not understand the complexities of emotions, love, and the human condition, we cannot do white lie. That's why it took 10 episodes for us to witness Violet's evolution and the first depiction of white lie. Because white lie is very complex socially. It's not quite a malicious lie. The intention of a lie is deception, deceiving something for someone's gain. That's the intention and the functionality of a lie, generally speaking. But white lie is more nuanced. It's more intricate. It's not for the sake of deceiving other people, but rather is for the purpose of comforting other people to shy away from the truth because we fear that the truth is too hard for someone to handle. In this case, Violet didn't want to burst Anne's bubble of fantasy. That's why she just said yes, which is a white lie. And this actually represents and highlights beautifully and subtly Violet's tremendous evolution of growth and her experience and learning of emotionality and emotional expression, and also the human condition, the complexities of what human experience entails. That was so deep.
そしてその泥棒はわーと叫んでびっくりして逃げていったのです。
あなた、なかなか本を読むの上手じゃない。バイオレット、パンは パンでもすごく硬くて食べられないパンって。
Oh, I love dad jokes.
スープに入れれば柔らかくなります。
バイオレットお母さんが来るまでなぞなぞして一緒に踊っておままごとして虫を捕まえて。
お嬢様、優先順位を教えてください。
バイオレットご本読んで。バイ
Aww, the longing for relationship. So this is so interesting. So we saw Anne going to Violet with a riddle or a joke, right? What did Violet say? She took that riddle and joke quite literally, saying that you can dip the hard bread into soup and soften it and then eat it. And I think the authors left out purposely of the outcome, but just to show us the glimpse of Violet's ongoing struggle. Like I just said momentarily ago, Violet has come tremendously so with understanding the complexities of emotions and the human experience and the human condition. That's why she was able to finally do a white lie, which is very intricate socially, like I just said. At the same time, we see the dichotomy of Violet's ongoing struggle with understanding some other aspects of social nuances, like a riddle, like a joke. Comedy requires tremendous social understanding and social adequacies. Riddle also requires the complexities of language and human emotions, because language is a tool created as an avenue and a vessel to express our emotions. So she's not fully quite there, because she took the riddle literally by giving her a literal response, which is the Violet and the old Violet and the patterns of her behavior that we're used to. So we're seeing immediately within two scenes Violet's tremendous growth and evolution, ongoingly so, and also her ongoing struggle with some other complexities of the human experience, the human condition, and the emotions, such as sharing a joke, sharing a riddle. And then that scene is followed by other flashes of scenes of Anne playing with or trying to ask Violet to play with her, and Violet babysitting, which another solidification of Anne's ongoing longing for stable relationships, meaningful playtime. In this case, Violet had to fulfill the role of a babysitter in addition to being an auto memory doll, because I think for the mother to meet with Violet for 7 days straight, going through the tremendous emotional labor, which is very taxing physically and emotionally, psychologically. I'm presuming that the mother has been going to bed earlier than usual and bed resting throughout the day after she completes letter writing with Violet. So Anne needs a caregiver throughout the absence of mother's bed rest because of how taxing it is, like I said. But also Violet is being the bridge. She's filling in that void for Anne, but also the mother, as someone who is more attuned, who is more human. She went from a detached soldier, disconnected as a weapon of war, to now attached auto memory doll to emotions, to emotionality, and also sociality, the social aspects of human relationships. Beautiful. Oh no.
違うの。バイオレットにリボンをつけてもらおうと思ったの。
わかったわ。でも後でね。奥様、少しだけ休憩をいただいてもよろしいでしょうか。え？お嬢様は今がよろしいのでしょう。
Aww. Violet, you've come such a long way. Oh my goodness. She's sad. Secure attachment. Who's the letters for? Man.
申し訳ありません。受けたまわりかねま。
Holy shit, I just had a light bulb moment. I could be completely wrong, but going back to what I said in the beginning or since the beginning of the episode, everything the mother has been doing is for post arrangements with her impending death. So, with how loving the mother is through proxy of Anne's secure attachment style, remember, children can only have secure attachment style when the caregiver, in this case mother, is responsible, compassionate, and loving. Full stop. Who's the one person we haven't seen the mother arrange post-death arrangements for? It's the daughter, Anne. And remember in the beginning who the letter was for when Anne was asking the mother? She said very ambiguous, someone far, far away. And the daughter is right. It can't be the father because he died in the battle as a hero. And tremendous sadness and trauma for Anne, of course. But I think she's too young to fully grasp the magnitude of grief and death of her father. So Anne's, the mother also fulfilled beautifully, sounds like, the dual role, the double role of a parent as a single mother, plus their affluence, family background looks like, higher socioeconomic status with maids and so on. So that's why I think we're not seeing too much sorrow and grief from Anne about her dead father. So Anne is right. It can't be the father because he's not just far away, he's dead, and Anne knows it. So who's the only other important person in this story setting so far that the mother hasn't catered for the arrangements for, given her anticipatory grief and her arrangements process? It's the daughter. And think about it. Here's some other evidence that I've gathered so far. Because I've been wondering who's the letters for. For 7 days worth? That's a lot of letters. Someone far, far away. We've talked about the symbolism of the starry sky from the last episode. And as we know, the themes of this show are its continuation. And I talked about how the starry sky in episode 9 is an embodiment and symbolic representation of the eternal love, the totality of love that transcends the finality of life and death. Here's my guess. I think that this episode 10 is yet another continuation of the same theme, the totality of love and the power of meaningful relationships that transcends the finality of life and death. So I think with this power of love that transcends the time and space continuum that I talked about is going to be solidified in this episode. And someone far, far away, I think, is actually Anne, but not the present Anne, but her future Anne. My guess and my prediction, of course I could be wrong, but I think I'm onto something here. I think the mother is actually writing series of different letters for different stages of Anne's life in anticipation of the mother's death. That's why the mother is keeping the letter writing a secret. That's why the mother is not allowing the daughter Anne to be in the sunroom while she's writing the letter with Violet. And that's also why the mother is asking Violet to keep this in confidentiality and a secret, which is a big fancy word that Anne didn't understand what that meant. So I think someone far away and the recipient of the letter writing, which is a 7 days worth, that's a lot of letters, is actually the mother's another effort, another post-death arrangement that she's doing and part of continuing her guidance, her maternal love, the secure attachment for her daughter Anne in preparation for her departure and in preparation for Anne's growing up with her natural stages of development. Because that's how good of a mother she is. And I think that's the last missing puzzle and piece from the arrangement that we've seen so far. Am I completely off? Or am I onto something with this episode? Man, I guess we shall see.
今日中に行けそうかしら。はい、この調子であれば。
This is the 7th day, okay? Oh. Oh. It's taking a tremendous toll on the mother. Oh. Is she gonna make it?
お願い、続けて。
もうやめて、お母さん、もうやめて。
Oh. I think it's you. Oh. So much pent up energy and frustrations and sadness from Anne.
私より大事な手紙なの？
アンより大事なものなんてな。
Oh, the letter is for Anne. Fucking knew it, dude. Yeah, it is for Anne. It's for you, baby.
とも良くならないじゃない。すぐに元気になるって言ったくせに。
そうよ。
お母さんはお母さんがいなくなったら私一人
Oh.
よ。いられるの？これからず私といてよ。お母さん、お母さん、
お嬢様。
お母さん。
お嬢様。
Oh, fuck. Sorry, quick pause. There's a lot of fire sirens and fire trucks going through the outside. And I also just need a moment to collect my thoughts and my emotions. I was right that Anne subconsciously or even consciously understood the process of anticipatory grief. And with her deep gut feeling, the power of innocence that I talked about, she knew that something is wrong with her mother's health. She knew that something bad was indeed happening. And finally, with that heartbreaking confrontation and tearfulness of the emotions of the scene between the mother and Anne, she finally told and verbalized her anticipatory grief. She finally verbalized her sadness in anticipation of her mother's impending death. And that broke the mother, the daughter, and also the maid in the backgrounds, while Violet continues to be on the side, witnessing and taking all of these emotions in. And I'm sure Violet is also struggling deep inside internally. We're not seeing it yet, but for how far Violet has come with her 3 stages of grief, went from denial, bargaining, and acceptance in episode 9 that we saw with Gilbert's death, with her learning of sadness and loneliness from all the previous characters and letter writing. There's no way for Violet to not feel the emotional resonance that's resonating in the space in that sunroom between the mother and the daughter. So I think Violet is also struggling internally, yet silently on the side, because she is a professional, hyper competently so. So I think she's struggling the internal battle of all these soaking of these emotions, heavy, burdensome emotions of grief, while maintaining externally on the appearance of her professional boundaries, because she doesn't want to take up space. As what psychotherapists do, I sometimes cry in my sessions, especially I do a lot of grief counseling. Grief is this powerful, encompassing human experience and human emotion as part of our condition. So I do cry in sadness and sorrow with my clients, talking about their death, grief counseling, and so on. But otherwise, I try my best to do exactly what Violet does. Maintain my professional boundaries, displaying and holding space emotionally and psychologically. Empathize with the client's emotions, whether it's anxiety, depressions, trauma, PTSD, and anything in between, without spilling over. We call that counter-transference. Transference is what's coming and the emotions coming from the client. Counter-transference is what's coming from the therapist in response to what's happening in the therapy room. My job is to maintain my counter-transference. And counter-transference is not good or bad. It's just what it is. And we just have to take notice and be self-aware of the counter-transference that's happening. So I'm not taking up the space for the clients. Why? Because the star of the show, the spotlights, and the focal points of any therapy sessions is the clients, not mine. If I break down, if I let my emotions spill over too much, except for grief, because that's a universal experience, the client is now being conscientious and conscious about my emotions. Imagine I'm crying when the client is crying all the time. Sometimes it's fine because we're also humans. Therapists are not robots, just like auto memory dolls are not robots. Think about the emotional burden and hesitation for the clients to open them up without any constraints. It will be too burdensome for the clients, and it will be unethical for the therapist, because now I made the therapy session about me, not the client. So that's what Violet is doing beautifully, simultaneously upholding her professional boundaries while soaking in internally the emotions, the heaviness. But it's so heartbreaking because I'm sure that caught the mother by surprise. She also didn't know that Anne has known this whole time, because children are more mature than the adults give them credits for. And that's what broke the mother's heart, Anne's heart, but also the maid's heart. And also, of course, our hearts. Man, heavy scene. Violet chases after Anne. It's definitely for Anne and her future self, the letters. It's pretty clear at this point.
お嬢様がお辛いのは当たり前です。その小さな体ですでにお母様のご病気を いいえ、お嬢
Parentification.
様はお優しい方です。
Oh.
誰にもどうにもならないことなのです。 She's gonna hug Violet. Oh, Violet's gonna hug Anne. Oh. She learned that lesson in episode 9. Oh, can we just take a moment of silence? Because again, I just need another moment. But also to really applaud and recognize Violet's tremendous ongoing progress. She didn't just go from a detached soldier to an attached conduit, vessel, bridge that deepens relationships and love. She's also holding space, not just professionally for the mother and the daughter, like in the sunroom scene that I just analyzed. She's also holding space and fulfilling and filling in the emotional void and the sorrow and sadness Anne was feeling after she ran off. Because she feels bad and she thinks that she is the cause for the mother's dying illness. And a lot of children do this, especially divorces. Divorce is one of the most traumatic things that can happen to a child, especially if it's a nasty and very aggressive divorce. For me, that's what I went through. For my mom and dad, they fought every night for years. The most pervasive memory I have of my parents when they got divorced is years and nights of fighting, arguments, screaming that eventually led to this nasty divorce. I remember that as if it's yesterday. And this happens more than 20 years ago for me. So it's extremely traumatic. And a lot of children, we take on the burden. Because we're so innocent and because we love nothing than our parents, if they're good parents, and even if they're bad parents, we still love them. Because that's what children do. We take on the responsibility. Oh, it's my fault. My parents got divorced. They went through divorce processing because it's me. Because I'm a bad girl. Because I'm a bad boy. Because I'm a bad daughter. I'm a bad son.
In this case, Anne thinks that the mother falling ill, terminally so, is because she was a bad girl. And of course, Violet says that precisely the truth and the most emotionally comforting thing possible within the given the circumstances. She's like, it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do. Just like my mechanical arms. It is what it is. And we as parents, we have to tell our kids that when something bad happens to us, whether it's illness, hopefully not terminally so, or divorces, or fights, the couple fights, the marital conflict, we have to explicitly express and verbalize to our children who are innocent, who will inevitably and subconsciously take on that responsibility. Not because they want to, but because that's just what they do through love and compassion. We have to verbalize and we have to tell them explicitly that, hey, it's not your fault. Mommy and daddy might be going through a divorce because of X, Y, and Z, but I promise you it is not your fault. It is our problem. It is our issues, but it is not a reflections and not a byproduct or nothing caused by you. Hey, mommy might be sick. Daddy might be sick, but it is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You're an amazing daughter. You're an amazing son. Please do not take on the responsibility of adults, our circumstances, and our trauma, and our hurts, and our situations, whether that be divorce or terminal illness. Please don't take it on. You did nothing wrong. It is not your fault.
そして私を抱きしめてくれたお人形が手紙を書き終えてさよならする日が来た。
It's been 7 days.
バイオレット
Oh, she hugs her back. You're a human.
それじゃあ飲んだ紅茶は
ですから
人形じゃなかったの。それから良くないものでもなかったわ。見たかったな。
You will. You will.
一体誰への手紙だったんだろう。
It's for you, Anne. Oh gosh. Seasons. The mom's probably passed away or is dead. And are we gonna see Anne reading those letters? Oh, not yet. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, fuck. No, she did die. It's flashback. Oh, the funeral. Oh, it's the letters.
おめでとう。
Fuck.
でも負けないで。寂しくて泣いてしまうこともあるかもしれない。
Oh, fuck. Oh.
18歳の誕生日おめでとう。
20 来たのね。すごいわ。大人になって。
Oh, Anna's become a parent. A mom herself. Oh, holy moly. Holy crap, yeah. Oh. Wow, what an episode. Oh, man. Wow. Think about the anticipatory grief that we talked about in my prediction. And think about the amount of emotional energy, the emotional burden, the physiological toll. Writing 20 years worth of letters for Anne or An after her death, during her anticipatory grief process while she was alive through Violet Evergarden. I don't know how many exact letters she wrote for Anne to her future self that we had the opportunity to witness, but the amount of love, the amount of anticipation, and the effort the mother exerted for her daughter is so unspeakably beautiful. Honestly, it is speechless. It is so beautiful. I don't want to add on too many words because I don't want to take away the wholesomeness and the absolute beauty of the mother's maternal love, her efforts and attempts to have this eternal guidance for Anne all the way until the 20th birthday of Anne after her passing. The anticipatory grief that she had actually served twofold. Fold one, it actually aided in the mother's own grieving process, confronting the anticipation of her mortality, her impending death, but also more importantly, it assisted the daughter's grieving process after she has departed from this beautiful world, given her beautiful soul. This is the reason why we're seeing this happy ending with Anne, meeting the love of her life, a wonderful person, I'm sure, becoming the mother and experiencing this beautiful motherhood and maternal love herself through the mirroring of this beautiful motherhood and maternal love of her deceased mother. Of course, it's devastating for Anne because she lost her father due to war at an even earlier stage and younger age. And she experienced the death of her only remaining caregiver, I think when she was 4 or 5 or 6, however old she was, because the author never revealed. She was able to go through such a healthy grieving process because of the tremendous effort, unspeakable amount of effort that the mother exerted through seeking the service of Violet Evergarden. It's because of that Anne is able to have a blossoming happy ending herself with her new motherhood because of the beautiful divinity, the eternal motherhood of her past mother. It is a continuation of the theme and the symbolic interpretation of the Starry Sky, episode 9. And as I said one more time, the totality of love can transcend the finality of love or life and death. The totality of love can transcend the finality of time and space and existence. And that is the intricacies, that is the complexities and the beauty of love, loss, and meaningful relationships. In this case, the most beautiful showcase in the displaying of a mother-daughter relationship in the most heartbreakingly beautiful and wholesome way. Wow. Wow.
50年にわたってアンマグノリアに
50 years. Fuck.
50つも
50 years. Oh.
まだあんなに小さい寂しがり屋でお母様が大好きなお嬢様を残して
Oh, Claudia. I knew it. She was struggling internally. I knew it. A loved one will always watch over you. This is a fucking amazing episode. Excuse my French. We end this episode after seeing the most beautiful display of a mother-daughter healthy relationship. We see Violet finally breaking down. And I predicted this earlier. I knew it. I knew she was upholding and maintaining her professional boundaries, despite her internal struggle that we didn't see until the end of this episode. She said she was holding back tears the entire time. And I knew it because it's only normal and natural for grief. One of the most potent and powerful yet wholesome universal emotions that all humans experience. Unless you're sociopathic by genetic wiring that I talked about previously. And for her to finally openly express her sadness, her own grief, in light of the grief for the mother and Anna, in the final scene with Claudia, Iris, and Erica, that is the culminations, the beautiful epitome and the pinnacle of Violet's growth thus far. She's finally able to confront her repressed emotions, her emotional disconnection, and she's finally reached a new height, the epitome of reconnecting with her broken self, reconnecting and rebridging with her disconnected emotions, with her finally tearing down and feeling the emotional resonance of the anticipatory grief and the grief of the longing mother having the best wishes for her daughter for 50 years after she has passed away. Wow. A loved one will always watch over you. So if you found my analysis helpful, and as everyone warned me against properly, this is such a beautiful episode back to back, because episode 9 also broke me, and this episode is so wholesome, so beautiful, but also so sad because of the power and the universality of grief. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up for me. I really try to pour my heart out and give my best for each video twice a week, every week. So use hitting that thumbs up and subscribing and sharing this episode not only spreads the love for our love for this masterpiece of Violet Evergarden, it increases the viewership, engagement for this, not my videos necessarily, but for this show to reach more people, because I do think that this show, Violet Evergarden, deserves more audienceship. It is such a powerful anime, such a masterpiece that can really bring healing for so many of us. And always, I hope you enjoyed this, discover something more about yourself, and brought up a little bit more healing to your journey and our journey of reconnecting with ourselves and other people that we cherish. Till next time, peace.